We are fortunate to have with us chief guest and keynote speaker, Her Excellency Srimati Suchitra Durai, Ambassador of India to Thailand. So on behalf of all the participants, let me welcome our chief guest and keynote speaker of this conference, Her Excellency Srimati Suchitra Durai. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to briefly discuss that why we are doing this conference. As you all know that the outbreak of COVID-19 has also led to an exponential increase in e-commerce business in the region. E-commerce business has provided a huge opportunity to women entrepreneurs to overcome the challenges faced and explore the global and regional markets. I request now, Madam Ambassador, to kindly inaugurate the International Conference of Women Entrepreneurs, and please convey your wisdom to the wonderful women who have connected from almost 11 countries. And we are all looking forward to your guidance, your motivation towards women entrepreneurs. Your Excellency, Madam Durai.
Thank you, Sanjay ji, for your very kind words. After that long introduction, I think all the participants here must be, quite convinced that I must be belonging to their mother's generation, which I do, I'm sure, looking at the faces on the screen. Firstly, I would like to thank Dr. Mano Lauhanovich, the director of the Gandhi Institute, for coming up with this wonderful initiative, which is really very pertinent at this juncture. And I'm truly honored to have been given the opportunity of addressing all of you, because I can see very clearly that you're all really high achievers in your own sectors, and you also come across from a wide cross section of countries across continents. So it will be, in fact, a very mutually beneficial exchange, I'm sure, as you shared your experiences and your views on your experience as a woman entrepreneur.
Without delay now, let me invite Rajalakshmi Joshi. I would like to brief you a little bit about that. When I thought about the Women Entrepreneur Conference, the first person came in my mind was Rajalakshmi. She is the one who inspired to think that we should do something for the women entrepreneurs. So let me briefly introduce you our first speaker of this conference, Rajalakshmi Joshi. She is from Mumbai. She is a TEDx speaker, architect and interior designer, motivational speaker, corporate trainer, writer, editor, environmentalist, regional head for, just to maybe it's good information for our Madam Ambassador that she is the regional head for the Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao initiative of the government of Bharat, political analyst and social entrepreneur as well. Rajalakshmi Joshi is a television panelist on many popular Indian TV channels like Republic TV, Zee TV, Times Now, CNN Network, India Today, Republic Bharat, India Head TV, Sudarshan TV, etc. She is also the advisor panel of some prestigious companies which features the Forbes list in their achievements and excellence. She was involved by the Embassy of Argentina in India as a keynote speaker at 2 conferences on women empowerment. She represented India and made noteworthy suggestions for both countries to work together and thrive even during the pandemic. As a social entrepreneur, Rajalakshmi Joshi considers her most satisfying experience to be that of helping more than 10,000 migrants from Nepali and other communities with food and essential goods during the lockdown in association with some association like Samas Mahajan Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh and Vishwa Hindu Parishad, etc. So we have a very powerful speaker. We begin with the Rajalakshmi Joshi. Rajalakshmi ji, you have 10 minutes from now. So we welcome you on behalf of Gandhi Institute.
Namaste. Sawadee-krub, Sawadee-ka, everybody. A very good morning, a very good afternoon, a very good evening to everybody, because I know that there are people from all across the world. So, and I am so happy to be a part of this wonderful initiative, and I can't thank Professor Sanjay Kumar ji of the Gandhi Institute and the director of the Gandhi Institute to have, to organize such a lovely conference that brings together all these powerhouses, I can say, that actually is the need of the day. Because like a lot of people say that, the woman of the house is like, she's the support, she's the pillar of the house. So, without that base, that foundation, that entire family crumbles. So it is really indeed, such a delight to see such lovely achievers here. And it is such a tall order to have to speak after Her Excellency, Ambassador Suchitra Duraiji. I mean, such inspiring words. And I'm really proud that she comes from my motherland, from India. And listening to her list of achievements was, it was quite exhaustive, but and very inspiring and very motivational. So it also means that, when somebody makes up a mind to do something, then definitely they can do it, because she has such a variety of achievements. So that itself speaks, and that I think is she is the perfect choice to be leading, to be starting with this conference here today. And the topic that I had mentioned to Professor Sanjay Kumar ji was conquer your mind, conquer your world, as my contribution to the theme today of empowering women and how to convert, how to convert this crisis into opportunities. So what was the need for bringing in this thing about conquering minds and conquering the world is because I am writing a book on this subject, which I feel is the very first thing that starts is that, if we are able to conquer our mind, then immediately we can conquer a whole lot of things. And that is the only person that stands between us and success is ourselves. And the only person that can bring someone down also is themselves. So the mind is the most important thing. And in this book, I also speak about a lot of, whatever I have understood from the teachings from the Bhagavad Gita, because I feel as a motivational speaker that the best motivational speech ever that I might have heard, that anyone might have ever read or come across, must have been this motivational speech by none other than Lord Krishna during this epic of Mahabharata. For those who might not be aware, I would just put in a couple of lines about this, that this speaks about how the mighty warrior Arjuna, he was so overwhelmed and he was so awed and he was so disturbed by the thought of having to face his very own relatives, his own cousins, his uncles, and the very people who taught him. And he had this moment of extreme depression where he just puts down all his arms and he says everything that he had, and he says to his charioteer, who happens to be Lord Krishna, he tells him that I cannot fight this war. I cannot fight against my own people. So it is at that time, then he says, I would rather give up my own life than having to fight my own people. So it is at that time when Lord Krishna, he takes him to one side of the war field, and he gives him a motivational talk. And this goes into 18 verses, but he tells him about what is the need for him to fight this war, and he tells him to look at it as his dharma. And of course, that is a very different subject. But then what I look at it is that, even the mightiest warrior can fall prey to being weakened by his own thoughts, by his or her own thoughts. So that is why, especially for all of us here, I would call all of us warriors. Warriors, yes, because each one of us ladies, each one of us women are fighting a war. We have been fighting wars for centuries. And it is quite rare, and sometimes across our journey, sometimes we come across some people, some men who support women, who take the lead, like Professor Sanjay. They have taken this lead to bring together women and take, maybe mentor some women entrepreneurs and just give a slight little push. But at the end of the day, I think that women need to be self-empowered. Empowerment is not something that someone else can give to us. It is something that we have to take for ourselves. We have to choose for ourselves. So what is this war? What is this battle that all of us have been fighting? All over the world, women have been fighting this war of women empowerment since centuries. And in a lot of countries, even till now, even till today, it starts with the very first right to be born itself. Because in a lot of countries, you have female feticide, where even before birth, when a person comes to know that they are going to give birth to a female child, and they abort it. This happens in a lot of countries. So, and unfortunately in India even today. So that is why we have a lot of difference in the gender ratios. So that it starts with that very first right to live, and after that comes the right to be given equal opportunity to education, the right to be able to choose a career, the right to be able to choose a life partner for ourselves, a career for ourselves, and then go ahead and become lawmakers or somebody important or powerful enough, like Her Excellency. So, we have been fighting all these battles, and none of it can happen if we are a little weak in our thoughts. So, a little thought, or just if somebody is saying some negative word, and if it keeps playing in our minds, or if we allow ourselves to be affected by some negative feedback from somebody, and if we fall prey to that, then that is that is where our journey towards stopping ourselves, we ourselves can come in the way of our own success. So as women entrepreneurs, I think the very first thing, or anybody, any woman to be able to be successful in whatever she chooses, the very first thing is to conquer the mind, to conquer our thoughts. So that is why I chose this subject about conquer your world, conquer your mind and conquer your world. And what I have seen is that the reason why, like I was talking about this female feticide, the reason is because throughout the world, you may have seen that there is always a little bias, or people are always a little negligent towards those who are weak, because they look at them as a burden. And unfortunately, women have been looked down as some liabilities, and somebody who is a burden, and somebody who the father or the husband or the brother, they have to look after them, and they are a burden to the house. So till as long as women are looked as liabilities and not as assets, till that time, the women will obviously be sidelined, they will not be given equal opportunities. And another thing is that most of the rules, most of the laws, most of the power always rests with men. So that is why we have seen that in like one of the biggest, say maybe benchmarks, which if you consider what is the biggest recognition for somebody's contribution towards any field, so you may say that it may be the Nobel Prizes. So if you look at the records, out of 600 awards that have been given in the field of science, for example, 20 women have been given the Nobel Prizes for contribution in sciences. So, I mean, that is such a dismal figure. And if you look at the overall Nobel Prizes, then out of, say, maybe 750 prizes across every discipline, that includes literature and, peace and everything else, women have been awarded 57 times, right, starting from 1905. And in these 57 times, Madame Curie has been awarded twice. So, I mean, is it that women have not made a contribution? Is it that we lag so far behind? No, it is because most of the times the opportunities are not given to women to be able to lead the team, or that the woman is, the credit is given to somebody else. The credit is snatched away from the woman by some other man leading the team, or some other, or maybe people don't trust the woman enough to be able to do a research of such importance or such significance, or that nobody funds those researches or those projects enough to be able to, for that woman to be able to achieve that potential that she has. So this, whoever has been able to make a mark for themselves, they have actually overcome such innumerable hurdles, and they have fought such battles, that I actually salute each and every entrepreneur here, every achiever here, because each one of you, each one of us has fought a lot of battles, and it doesn't come easy, because you have to be able to delegate tasks, you have to be able to take leadership, you have to be able to firstly have confidence in yourself, because like Madam was saying, Madam Durai was saying, that financing a project itself, it is a task, because right from the family itself, if I have a sibling, if I have a brother, and if I approach my father saying that I have a beautiful idea, if I have, and I would like to get a little finance from you, so then he may prefer to give it to my brother. No, this is just a hypothetical situation, because I have a sister, and luckily for me, fortunately for me, my father has been very instrumental in giving me and my sister the very best of education, and he has always insisted that we need to be empowered ourselves. So that is the reason why I am able to exhibit any confidence, or I am able to approach any situation with confidence and with determination. So, but that doesn't happen in all cases. And even when women approach banks, then they're looked upon with suspicion that whether they will be able to actually repay the loans. And, unfortunately, it is like the big fish always get away with big loans, and women, unfortunately, don't always get the loans that they deserve. So if we have to fight a bigger battle, we have to be able to give people a little more conviction. We have to show them a little more conviction. We have to be able to be more convinced with our own ideas, and we have to be stronger. So we have to do a lot more homework whenever we come up with some project, whenever we want to be able to get some loans, or when we want to be able to implement something, because it is not easy to convince the others that we will be able to do it. And the very first person that we need to convince is ourselves, our own minds, because then that is it. That is where it starts. The very first step is that the women think that, oh, I can't do this, and that has been even multifold now during the pandemic. But a lot of women have shown such promise during the pandemic. Like, I'll tell you an example of a young girl who had approached me just before the lockdown was announced, and she needed assistance from me to be able to find a suitable accommodation for her, because she had just passed out of the IIM, which is one of the premier B schools, and she had got a lovely job in one of the a cream company where she was getting a fabulous pay package. But then the lockdown was announced, and things were they were so much chaos that she went back to Bangalore. She was supposed to be here in Mumbai, so she went back to Bangalore, and after a couple of months, she sends me she calls me and she says she wants to send me a package, and she sent me a package of a lovely set of handmade soaps. So that was a new enterprise that she had started along with a couple of her friends from her same institute, that is from the IIM Bangalore. So some four young girls, they came together, and these were luxury handmade soaps. And the way they had packaged it, the way they had marketed it, the way they were promoting it, I mean, after that, I did not want to use any other soap at all. I mean, that was how, instead of crying over the fact that there was this lockdown and that she lost this dream job right at the start of her career, she shifted to something else. And now this young girl has franchises in 4 major cities of India. And I'm so proud of her that this girl, in her early 20s, and she is already such a successful entrepreneur. So within a year of the lockdown, she and her friends, they had set up on a successful venture. So I'm sure that it didn't come very easy, but then it all came with that right one idea. It all starts with an idea and the very thought that, yes, I can do it, because that is the first thing that a person can do. And that is the most important thing. And that is the half of the journey will be done when a person is convinced that they can do it. Because then you'll be able to convince your parents, you'll be able to convince your family, you'll be able to convince the financiers that you can do it. And this holds true for whichever field, whichever profession one may want to pursue. And I think that is why a person should be able to be in control of their own thoughts, their own minds. And I have spoken on a couple of TEDx's. So as you may all be aware that TEDx speaks about sharing ideas. They are all about ideas worth sharing. So, it all starts with one idea. So during this lockdown, a lot of women have come together. They have looked at YouTube videos. They have even the homemakers who had never ventured out of their houses to set up pursue any career or to start any business. They started catering to small groups of people, and today they are running very successful catering businesses right from their homes with very small, meager investments, but with one small thought that they pursued through and they followed through and they decided to make it happen. So, nothing is, no problem is as huge or as difficult as it looks. And, no opportunity is small. So I think that, but all that it takes, all that matters is how you think about it and how you look at it. The perspective has to be right. So then I think that with that, I would like to say thank you to all of you once again for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts. And I hope that we will continue and we will see even bigger such conferences, and that we will have live conferences, because if this is one of the first or one of the initial initiatives that Gandhi Institute has taken up, and with this, I mean, if you have taken such huge steps, so I'm sure that this will go a long way, and we will definitely have a lot of very good initiatives from the Gandhi Institute. So thank you so much, Gandhi Institute and Rangsit University, and namaste to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rajalakshmi. So inspiring. Just want to let you know that in the series of conferences, in May, we have organized the International Youth Conference. And believe me that we had 26 speakers from different countries. And from start to finish, the conference went over 4 hours. And all the youth were so excited to stay all the time from start to finish. So I was really happy that before we organized the youth conference, now we are women, and next we will have a media conference.
Well, very interesting conversation that we had about women entrepreneurship. So I just wanted to know that, for any person, while they are moving ahead professionally, are bound to face obstacles or challenges. And I personally believe that more than 50% of them lose out on their motivation at some point in time, whether it is at the beginning of the entrepreneurship journey or somewhere in between where they have, kind of moved in halfway. So as Rajalakshmi Joshi rightly mentioned that, it's so important to learn to conquer your mind so that you can, conquer your thoughts and your life. And, it really doesn't matter. Many a times you may have a supportive family, which is good. Sometimes one may not have a supportive family. But having said that, it's so important to conquer your mind. So my question to y'all was, to the panel was that, do you have any tip or any suggestion or anything that needs to be practiced, especially when you start thinking that you cannot do it? And that's nothing to do with the external environment or the external factors. So do you have any tips or suggestions which you'd like to share with us today?
Yeah, can I speak, Sanjay ji?
Yes, please answer, yes.
Yeah. Hello, Dipali. And that was a really good question. So when, everybody has, a couple of, they always have 2 thoughts, like 2 sets of thoughts. Like either they, one side of your brain that keeps telling you something positive, and another brain keeps telling you, no, this is not possible. So everybody goes through this dilemma. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so everybody goes through this dilemma of which voice to hear. So that is always a dilemma, because everybody has positive thoughts as well as negative thoughts. And that is exactly why, the best of people can turn out the most evil persons also. Circumstances can change a person. So that is why you need to know which thought to listen to. Somebody, if from your own closest family, they may tell you that, no, this is not possible. You can't do it. So you should be able to know that, you have to be able to be strong in your own thoughts, in your own conviction. That is exactly what I said. When you are strong in your own conviction, when you are convinced about it, then you can convince others. But, you always need to be able to pick. That filter has to always be there in your mind, because we always keep listening to a lot of things. We keep listening, we keep reading. And that is why our forefathers, they have always said that you need to surround yourself with nice, influential people who have a positive influence on you. So when you keep listening to negative thoughts, that is when you also start becoming negative. So very firstly, learn how to cultivate positive thoughts. It's very natural for everybody to have negative thoughts. And there is no other trick to get rid of negative thoughts other than bringing positive thoughts. Like for example, if I tell you, if you tell yourself, I'm not going to be thinking about a gray elephant, all that you can think about is a gray elephant. So, whatever the thoughts manifest in your mind, you cannot change it other than putting in some other positive thoughts. So every time you get some thought saying that I can't do it, then think of 100 reasons why you can do it. No, so that is how it is. So say, for example, a soldier guarding, the frontiers of a country. You think they don't have fears? Or if they're facing some, if they're facing some ambush, or in any situation, they may be very fearful. They may be, the one thought may be coming into their mind saying that, okay, I need to run away and take cover. But then they listen to that thought that says, no, I will get rid of all this, the difficult situation that is here. So they choose that thought, and that is what helps them overcome the negative thoughts. So you always have two sets of thoughts, positive and negative. But what you want to listen to, or what you should be listening to, that choice, that makes all the difference. I always tell, my whoever I'm, I give a lot of motivational talks. So I tell them that makes a difference between being a zero and a hero. Here, a hero doesn't mean a male or female. It means like a hero can be a woman or a man. So whether you're a zero or a hero, it's that choice that you make, that makes all the difference. That filter, that should be very strong. That, every time you get a negative thought, you bring in positive thoughts. That comes with a lot of practice, of course, but then that is how you need to be doing it. And I hope I have answered your question.
So much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Professor Sanjay ji and Dr. Mano, for taking this initiative, and Shobha ji for being such a wonderful support, and all the lovely speakers that really I'm going back so much more empowered. To tell you very honestly, I was going to request Professor Sanjay ji, initially to allow me to log off after a while because I had something else planned. But then listening to the speakers, I was like, there was so much to learn, so much to, so many insights. And there is one line that I always like, that, one teaches and two learn. And here, there are so many people who are speaking, and there were so many people learning, and it was learning multifold. So I'm really going back, much, much more enriched with a lot more knowledge and a lot more inspiration and motivated. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Achan Swadikap.
Thank you very much, Sanjay, and everybody. I'm very much honored that you all participated in this. First is not the last, there is the first Women Conference for Empowering and Women Entrepreneurs.